This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need
Yes. What's going on tonight, folks? This is Mac and Mac Top Picks. We come to you every Thursday night at 6 p.m., where we give you the best plays for the week coming up. And I'm Mac with your co-host, Jay McLovin. We also call him Mac. How you doing tonight, Jay?
Good. The Cowboys play in about an hour or so we're doing good.
Yes, sir. And, last week, Jay, together, of course, we had a couple picks that were the same. But totally, we went 5-1. I mean, there ain't nobody out there that can give people better bets than going 5-1. So if they put $100 on each of our picks, they would have came out $400 ahead if they just played our picks. So this week, of course, NFL is here, Jay. We've been waiting for this all year. It starts off tonight. Tampa Bay and the Dallas Cowboys are playing tonight, like you said, an hour away. So before we get to breaking down the game, which we'll do, let's go over a little NFL news that'll affect some of the people's picks here. Tyrod Taylor will be starting for the Houston Texans. He's been around the league a long time, Jay. And I don't know if that will help, the Texans that much. The Jags, of course, you got Lawrence with his first action. We'll see what happens there. We also got the 3 rookie quarterbacks starting the first week of the NFL. I don't know if that's ever happened, Jay. Do you remember 3 rookies? I don't either.
No, I sure can't. It's unusual that you have, and all of them look pretty good to start. I mean, Trevor Lawrence like he's doing pretty well, and obviously you got not Tua. Who's the other one?
You got Zach Wilson.
Thank you, Zach. That was on my mind. I think the only thing I don't think Zach's gonna. I'm kind of curious to see how he plays because with the Jets. I mean, the story with the Jets, and so I think, God, I think he's the most intriguing one of all of them because that one. I mean, if he can win, well, hell.
Yeah, I mean, then you got Mac Jones with the Patriots.
Yes.
So I mean, there you got 3 rookies to start the first game in their first year, and I know there's been some rookies that have started in the past, but I don't remember 3 rookies right away starting the first game at once. Right. And the Colts have their 4th quarterback in 4 years starting. So they got Carson Wentz going there. He's going to play. We'll see if he was a quarterback the Eagles envisioned he would be down the road, getting new life over there with the Colts, which really have had a really good, solid team the last few years. Their defense, their running game. Rivers didn't play bad, but Wentz is supposed to be, a real good quarterback, and now he's got another shot. What do you think about the Colts having 4 quarterback in 4 years? How can you win like that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Carson Wentz obviously has a lot more upside, I think, than what Rivers had. I mean, Rivers, he wasn't a bad quarterback, but he was a standard quarterback. I mean, he wasn't flashy. He wasn't going to get you a whole heck of a lot. But, when you look at Wentz, what Wentz is capable of doing when he's on the field and not hurt, I mean, the guy is a good quarterback. I mean, he can play. I mean, I understand, last year he had a rough time with Philadelphia, but there was a lot of different changes in that particular year than there were the other years that he had been playing. So I think obviously he had his Reich. Was it Frank Reich? He's back with him. That's his quarterback. That was his coach when he was with Philadelphia when he was in the good playing years. So I think he's got a good home. He's familiar with the coaching staff. He likes the coaching staff. And if you get on the same page with your coaching staff and your team, well, then now you can do something.
Yeah, and
that's what's going to happen.
And I think the Colts, they just missed the last couple of years. I mean, I think them and Tennessee tied last year, and Tennessee won the division for the tiebreaker. But the Colts are no joke. I mean, they could raise a little cane this year in the playoffs if Wentz has a good year. That's for sure.
And Philly needs him to do that. Philly absolutely needs him to be on the field for as much as possible, so that way that draft pick they got for him can be upgraded. So
there you go. There you go. That's 100% right. So let's talk about Dallas and Tampa tonight, right? So Tampa Bay has all 24 starters coming back from the Super Bowl team. Mm-hmm. You've got Tom Brady in the second year in that offensive system. And if that ain't bad enough, Zach Martin is out with a COVID thing. And Dak is coming off a huge injury to his foot last year. Then he injures his shoulder during preseason. I don't know. What do you think the Dallas Cowboys would need to do to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight?
Man, they're just gonna need a good game plan. First of all, they're gonna need a good game plan. They're gonna need good. They're gonna have. So you got McGovern. McGovern's coming in from Martin. So Connor McGovern is gonna play for Martin. So you're gonna. And he had 8 starts last year. So it's not like he's not like he's fresh meat. The guy knows how to play the position. So that's a good thing for them. But they're going to need him to be clicking on all cylinders along with the rest of the team. It's going to have to be a lot of cohesiveness and everybody being on the same page and trying to push the ball up. And then also in the defensive side, trying to take the ball away. And if they can limit their turnovers and if they can capitalize on their red zone opportunities, then obviously this team is going to do something great. But this is a Tampa Bay team that's coming in. And supposedly now Tom Brady, after the other Super Bowl, last year's Super Bowl, called up his quarterbacks coach during the offseason and said, hey, I think this team is going to be better than what it was last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, and for a variety of reasons, I mean, it's better. He's got better personnel. Now he's got Giovanni Bernard, who's a really good pass catching running back. They've also got Joe Trayon Shinoka, the linebacker they drafted, who Jason Pierre-Paul says just playing lights out. So if they already had a good defense, so they improved their defense. They improved their running back situation with Leonard Fournette obviously playing as well. So I mean, these guys, they got Ron Jones. So they got everything, all the pieces they need. And Tom Brady is not. Everybody's accustomed to him now. They understand him now. He understands them better now. So when you have a team that has better familiarity, and their first year together, they win a Super Bowl. Now they're even more familiar. Well, I mean, come on, that's a perfect storm for another Super Bowl season. So Dallas is going to have every bit of their hands full with this Tampa Bay squad.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Dak not seeing any action at all in preseason, him being limited during practices, not having the timing down with his receivers as he normally would. If Dallas played Tampa maybe in the middle of the year, they would be a lot more ready for this Tampa Bay team. This Tampa Bay team looks like it's ready to go to explode right away, and I don't think it's going to be too good for the Cowboys, tonight. Like I said, if they were playing for a while, we know Dak and his foot is all right, that he's got his timing down with his receivers. I think they would be more ready for Tampa than they're going to be tonight. I'm kind of scared for the Cowboys, to be honest with you, tonight against this Tampa Bay team that's just stacked. They started out at 7.5 in the beginning of the week. They went up to 8.5, which means a lot of people are betting on Tampa. And I don't even know if Dallas can stay within the 8.5 points. We'll see what happens. I mean, Zeke's got to have a great game. They got to be able to control the ball somewhat, because if Dak is throwing, they're going to be playing catch up a lot, and that would probably be the worst thing for Dallas tonight. Jay.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not so scared about this game. As a Cowboys fan, I'm really not, because here's the deal. This is the highest bar of competition they're going to see all year. Tampa is the highest bar. So a lot of things can happen over the course of a season, right? I mean, injuries can happen both to Tampa as well as the Cowboys and any other team in the league. So however we play tonight, even if we lose, but we lose by, let's say, a touchdown, or we lose by a field goal, if we can lose by something of that narrow of a margin, even 10, I'll go as high as to say even 10. Yeah. If we lose by 10, as long as we play a solid game, limited turnovers, and we lose by 10, that's still a win, because now okay, I've got up against the best. There's nobody better than Tampa in my mind that can, we've gone up against the best. So now we got a standard of where they are. And now you know what the gap between us and the best of the league is. So and over the course of a season, 17 games, you can improve upon that.
Sure.
And you can get better. All those things can come into play. So I mean, it's okay. I mean, yeah, we're getting the hardest at the beginning, but it's going to set a barometer or at least for me. And now I know how my Cowboys are going to, or what the expectation of the Cowboys is going to be for the rest of the season.
You know, I agree. Even if Dallas lost by 2 touchdowns, but what was competitive against Tampa, who's stacked this year, and they haven't played together really as a unit or practiced as a unit all year. I mean, you got to admit, Jay, you got the defensive backs. That's a question mark for you guys, for the Dallas Cowboys. The defensive line can be good if Gregory stays out of trouble. And the linebacking core is pretty young, and they're often injured. So Dallas last year, their defense didn't play that well at all. If they can keep close to Tampa, if they can run the ball a little bit and take the pressure off Dak Prescott, you guys could surprise Tampa. I don't think so, but it's possible. It's any given Sunday. But man, I mean, I would have felt better if I was a Cowboy fan. I would have felt better to play somebody near the middle of the pack and maybe get a win than go up against Tampa right off the rip. I mean, I would have felt a lot better.
Yeah, we always would have felt better, but hey, look, it's football, damn it.
Yeah.
It's football, and hey, listen, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best. So I mean, because it's a vice versa, right? If we go out there and play all the medium teams, and I got other people out there, their teams are playing tougher teams like Baltimore or Kansas City or whatever the case may be. And they look at my team and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're in first place, but you play the crappy teams, So I hate that stuff. If my team's going to be up, I want to play the best. I mean,
yes.
You can't be afraid to play the best. You just can't.
Oh no. Oh, I agree with you. I would feel a lot better for Dak, especially not knowing how Dak's going to respond. Just give us a team that we have a really good shot at winning. Build up the confidence. Let Dak go on that ankle. He can move around. We'll see. And, listen, the Dallas Cowboys have a great wide receiver crew.
Oh,
but
yeah.
so does Tampa. People don't talk about how good Tampa Bay's receiving crew is. So it's going to be I just think it's going to be a little rough for the Cowboys tonight. Listen, they're going to play inspired. Dak is a good quarterback. Zeke has been a great running back in the past, and I think he's going to have a good year this year. And that defense with your new defensive coach Quinn, I think he's going to improve that defense as you guys go on. And I'm not worried about the Cowboys having a good year this year because I think they will. Just for betting's sake, I don't know if tonight's.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna put my money on Tampa, obviously.
Right.
But if I'm a fan like I am right now, well then obviously I want my team to win. But yeah, if I'm putting money down, I'm obviously either gonna give me a really good spread or I'll put my money on Tampa.
Right, exactly. So let's get to that here in a second. Let's talk about what the spreads are going to be. Like I said, Dallas has gone from 7.5 point underdog to an 8.5 point underdog. And I think that if I said, like you said, if you were a betting man, me too, I still think that Tampa Bay covers that spread, especially at home. The cannons are going to be firing. I mean, I expect Tampa Bay's offense to be playing well, the defense to be playing well. I'm not sure how good the Dallas offense or defense will be cohesive this year right now. I mean, this game. So I definitely, if I'm going to bet this game, I'm taking Tampa Bay, even giving Dallas 8.5.
Yeah, I think ESPN has Tampa Bay giving them 9.
Finding a family.
Yeah, I think Tampa will most likely cover that spread. I think Tampa, like I said, I see Tampa. I don't think they're going to go over 10 or 14. I think they'll keep it a 2-possession game, and whether it's 2 touchdowns or a touchdown and a field goal, I think it will be a 2-possession game, which obviously covers that 9. Your 8.5 or that 9 spread. I mean, it's going to cover it. So yeah, I do think Tampa covers the spread.
Okay, so we're both in agreement there that we think that Tampa Bay will cover. So, and that's a big spread too. The first week in pro football is probably the hardest to predict, right? Because we really don't know. I mean, we have an idea what happened last year. We watched the free agency. We watched the draft, but we really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Tampa Bay, they may have problems getting to the playoffs this year. We really, honestly, we don't know. That's the thing about betting. And in the first couple of weeks of the season, it's really tough. So I guess we're both going to go with Tampa Bay on that. So now we got the Eagles playing Atlanta Falcons. The Eagles, of course, Hurts is starting. He was named the first string quarterback. Again, a team that I think, they say they're retooling, not rebuilding. I believe they're rebuilding. Anytime you have a new coach, it's different. And the offensive line is normally good. They normally have a tough defense, the Eagles. Atlanta, I couldn't figure out last year. I thought they would have a decent team. They pick up Pitts. Julio Jones is pretty much all done. You still have Matty Ice. You still got some talent over there. So the Eagles are getting 3, playing Atlanta. Who do you like there, Jay?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Falcons just because of Pitts. I think Pitts is going to have – I think he's a very versatile tight end. He can also play the wide receiver. He's a big guy. I like Pitts. I like Calvin Ridley. I like, just the whole gamut, really, honestly, of what they have over there in terms of playing Philadelphia. I think they could beat Philadelphia because I think Philadelphia is just a bigger mess than a lot of people think. And Philadelphia, they have Jalen Hurts. Don't get me wrong. He's got Jalen Hurts, but they're a mess. That team is still, like you said, is trying to find its identity. It doesn't know who it really is. And anytime you got a team that's like that, I just think they're just open for being able to be beat. I think the Falcons go in there. I think they cover the spread. They got them at 3. I think they definitely cover that spread.
I do too. Interesting game next. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers getting 6.5 at Buffalo. Now, Pittsburgh, we all know last year started out red hot. They picked up a running back. They're trying to get back to old smash mouth Steeler football. They fired their offensive coordinator for last year. The Buffalo Bills, they're supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, but 6.5 points is still a big spread. Who do you like with that?
No, I'm definitely I'm taking the Bills on that one, honestly. I like the way the Bills are playing. They're picking up where they left off last year. They didn't lose anybody. They picked, I like Stephon Diggs. I think he's gonna have a hell of a year this year. So yeah, I think the Bills will cover that 6.5 spread.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Okay.
I like Tomlin as a head coach. I like the way he wants to have a physical team. I think Buffalo wins that game, but I think it's gonna be closer than people think. I think if Buffalo gets out of there and wins by 2 field goals, that's all I need. 6.5, just win by 2 field goals, and I'm in there. I think that the Steelers, Big Ben will have a decent year this year if they start running the ball more. Ben can't take the shots like he used to take. And that defense of Pittsburgh is always aggressive and physical. I'm going to take that just with the points. I still think the Bills will win, but I'll take that 6.5. Minnesota against Cincinnati. This is a very interesting game because Joe Burrows, another big injury last year. He played, I think, 1 snap during the preseason. You got Minnesota, who really underachieved last year. They got one of the best running backs in the league. They upgraded their defense. Cincinnati, if they can give Burrows time, he can throw the ball like crazy. We all know that. So who do you like? You've got Cincinnati getting 3.5 points at home, underdog at home. Who do you like there?
I like the Vikings. I think Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, and I think that the defense from the Vikings will be good enough to put pressure upon Cincinnati. And Burrow. We still don't know what we got with Burrow. That guy's coming off, pretty much every ligament he tore. So, God, you don't know what you're really getting out of that knee. He gets hit one time. Maybe something happens. He gets put back on that. Because this is Cincinnati, and I think he's still got a long ways to go to get that offensive line up to snuff to where he can stay upright, not running for his life. So, yeah, I absolutely got Vikings on that one, and that's not even a close call.
I'm with you on that. You got the 49ers minus 7.5 in Detroit. Who in their right mind, if I was a rookie, Jay, and they told me the Detroit Lions were drafting me, I think I'd try to get an extra year in college. I would not want to go to the Detroit Lions. I know they got a new coach, Campbell, who was a tight end for the Dallas Cowboy. He says they're going to play tough and they're going to bite people's kneecaps, and he said a whole bunch of stuff. I think I think the 49ers are going to have a really good team this year. I think they're going to go back to what they did. I can see Garoppolo. He got a lot of pressure from the kid this year. I think he has a good game. I don't think Detroit even comes close to the 49ers. I can see the 49ers beating them by a few scores anyway, but they'll definitely cover the 7.5.
Yeah, absolutely. Garoppolo came out and basically said that he's, officially the starter of the team, even though their coach Shanahan is, kind of like minces words about it. He won't come out and just say Garoppolo is the guy, but we all know Garoppolo is the guy. But I would not be surprised if Trey Lance makes a few debuts here and there in the season just to see what he's got. But Detroit's where careers go to die.
Yeah,
it's like a death zone in there. I definitely would. I mean, all more places worse than Detroit would be going to Cincinnati. That's another place where careers or you get put on the stretcher. I'd be, I couldn't even go to Cincinnati or even the Jets. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
okay. So I definitely got San Francisco in that one for sure.
So this is going to be an interesting game because I'm not sure what we're going to get here. The Cardinals, a couple years ago, they looked like they were going to set the league on fire. And the Tennessee Titans looked like they were going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think they were 1 or 2 games away a couple years ago. Tennessee's defense falls apart. They got a great, maybe the best running back in the league. The Cards have a very exciting young quarterback, Tyler Murray, but he doesn't know when to slide down and get out of bounds. He tries to run for a touchdown, and he finally got hurt a little bit last year. So maybe this year he's a little bit more smarter. And Tennessee, I still can't figure Tennessee out. I don't know if they're going to be really good or they're just going to be middle of the pack. So I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to take the points with the Cardinals, 3 points, and that's not a lot. Unless Tennessee can show me that their defense is really good this year, I like the Cardinals getting 3 points.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down on my sheet was Cardinals. I got the Cardinals also covering that spread. Tennessee is good. I mean, like you said, Derrick Henry's coming in, and he's bringing and Tannehill's about fantasy leagues, so yeah, I definitely want him to have a good game. But I do think that Arizona's look, man, they got J.J. Watt over there. They still got he's a really good leader on that defense, and as long as DeAndre Hopkins. You always get a serious deep threat right there, and I think Kyler Murray, he's gonna know when to slide this year. I think he figured it out. I still love his mobility though. I love his mobility. I like what Kyle what's his name? What's that coach's name? The one from Texas Tech.
Oh man, the name slips me right now.
But I definitely have Cardinals taking that one.
So we're in agreement there. So far, we've only disagreed on one, Jay. I don't know if people are going to think we were talking before the show, but we weren't. Honestly, we weren't.
No,
not at all. So we were just, we were kind of talking about the Colts, Carson Wentz, and Seattle comes into play them. Seattle looked like they kind of took a step back that last year, right? They don't have a running game like they used to. Their defense sure isn't as strong as it used to be. The Colts have a solid team. And if Wentz can play like he started to play with the Eagles, they might be dangerous this year. And believe it or not, Jay, I think Seattle might finish in 4th place over there in the West this year. That division is tough, man. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think Colts are playing home. Wentz has a good game. Wilson's gonna do his little damage. He does. But I just like the Colts running game and defense better than I like Seattle's running game and defense. It's up to Wentz, but I'm going to take the Colts at home, getting 3 points.
And I'm definitely going with Seattle because I believe in DK Metcalf, and I definitely believe in Tyler Lockett, and I believe what Russell Wilson's got going on over there. And I absolutely unequivocally think Seattle's going to cover that one. And I think, hey, look, I like Wentz, but at the same time, man, he really doesn't have a whole lot. I don't think he has a whole lot of people. I just don't think they have a lot of people to throw to. I just don't. I don't believe in their team.
Yeah,
I kind of sort of believe in Wentz a little bit, but I mean, I haven't really seen enough of him in this new regime to be able to solidify against the Seattle team. So at least we know they've been playing together. We know what they're about. So I can't just go up again. I can't see. I definitely think Seattle's going to cover that one for sure.
All right, cool. I mean, listen. No knock against Russell Wilson and his receivers at all. But, he's been the most sacked quarterback in like the last 3 years. And I don't know if they did enough to get him that offensive line better for him to run the ball and take some pressure off him. Russell Wilson, definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So you got the Chargers going into Washington. Everybody's been talking about that young Washington defense, and for good reason. I mean, the Washington the Washington football team. I'm old school.
Yeah. I know. I can't. I still. It's hard to get used to saying that.
It is. I mean, they got to give him another name. They got to give him a last name there. Or I'm going to keep saying it.
I'm still going with Red Wolves. Hopefully, they pull Red Wolves out of there.
Something. I don't care if they call them the Washington Washerwomen. Give me something to say. But listen, the Chargers. A lot of people think they're going to have a great year this year. They got the young quarterback over there that Miami passed on. They took Tua. And they didn't think this kid would be good, but man, he lit it up last year. The Chargers defense is not bad. Fitzpatrick is there. Fitzpatrick can be up and down. It's tough, but I'm going to go with the Chargers, giving 1.5 to Washington. I just think their offense is just a little bit better than Washington's offense, and their defense can hold its own.
Yeah, I like Eckler. I definitely like Keenan Allen. I've always liked Keenan Allen. He's such a speedy guy, man. And then with what Herbert's doing over there is just phenomenal. And I think they have more weapons, I really believe, than what Washington has. Even though Washington's coming in with the number 7 defense, so it's not like their defense is lousy.
Yeah.
So I do think the Chargers cover that 3-point spread. So absolutely going with Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, Hebert moves around really well in the pocket. He can run with the football. If he was a pocket quarterback, it might change my mind. If he just sat in the pocket, it might change my mind. But the way he moves around and the way he can throw that football, I just think the Chargers will. It'll be a good game, but I think the Chargers will.
Isn't Curtis Samuel's on Washington? Isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they upgraded.
Yeah.
Washington upgraded their offense.
I mean, they got McLaurin, they got Curtis Samuel. I just don't know. I just don't know if that's enough to take out what they're building on over there in San Diego. Especially with this 3-point spread, I fully expect them to cover that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 1.5, Jay, right now. So at
1.5. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I had them at 3 earlier.
Even if it was 3, even if the correct line has changed to 3, I know it opened at 1.5. I took a quick look late, but even at 3, I still think the Chargers will cover that. And it's going to be a good game. Jags versus Houston. Now, rookie quarterback. If the Houston defense was good as it was 2 years ago, I think that Trevor Lawrence would be in trouble. But as long as they can keep Trevor Lawrence upright and he can, do his thing, and Houston nobody wants to play for Houston. Tyrod Taylor's starting. He's been around the league. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's really not a first-string quarterback. He's a good quarterback that can fill in for a few games for you. I think Trevor Lawrence gets win number 1 as a rookie quarterback.
There was a time that I believed in the Texans could win. There was a time, and that time is sip, sell. So,
yeah.
I knew once they carried Deshaun Watson on the 53-man roster, but they start Tyrod Taylor, that It was really truly just a surrender. Like literally, they're just holding the white flag up and they're just saying, "Just give me the first round pick, please. Can we fast forward to the draft?"
Yes.
So I definitely have the Jags, and that one definitely is not by a close call, and that is going to give Trevor Lawrence a little bit of pep in his step going in with the win. So
sure. I mean, that's the big game, that rookie quarter. If he can win his first game, that will give him definitely confidence he needs going forward. Then, now this to me is really interesting. You might think I'm going to be crazy with this pick, but you got Cleveland getting 6 at KC. We all know KC is a favorite to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. Cleveland lost to them on one of the worst rules in football. I understand why they had it, because they don't want people fumbling the ball forward to score a touchdown. But this guy was diving for the pylon. He was in the end zone, and he fumbles the ball in the back of the end zone. Cleveland beats Kansas City. Cleveland goes scored. Kansas City would have went home. But because of that rule, the Chiefs won. I think Cleveland is one of the best balanced teams, especially that running game. Their defense is no joke. Kansas City, I know about Mahomes. I know about their firepower. But I think if Cleveland can keep Mahomes on the bench, they have a shot at covering the spread. So I'm going to take Cleveland with 6 points versus Kansas City.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going with Kansas City on that one. I think Kansas City covers that spread. And I'm like you though. I do like Cleveland. I like what Cleveland is doing with Myles Garrett and so forth. But I obviously they got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I mean, they like you said, they do have a good run game. But I just think with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watt, I mean, I just think them guys are a well-balanced breakfast, especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I just think that's just a well-balanced breakfast over there in Cleveland. And Kansas City. I'm sorry. It is a well-balanced breakfast over in Kansas City. So, but I do think it's going to be close, but I do think they take them. Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was crazy when I wrote it. So, I know KC can score like 40, 50 points on you. I just think Cleveland might keep it close. This is really interesting. I shouldn't say never. When I saw Tua play, he was very accurate in college. He was one of the best quarterbacks. He got that injury. Miami took him anyway. And last year, when Fitzpatrick came in for Tua, because he had to a few times, Tua didn't really look that good to me. And when he said, I don't know the playbook, when they talked to him, and he didn't get upset if I want to be starting quarterback, Jay, and you say, you sit down, the other guy's going in, I'm going to be upset. Tua didn't look upset. In fact, he looked pretty relieved a couple times to me. I just don't know if Tua's as good as they think. And I think the Patriots, with all their guys coming back, picking up them 2 tight ends, we know their defense is going to be nasty. And now you got a rookie quarterback who looks a little bit, I don't want to compare him to him, but he looks a little bit like Brady. I think the Pats put it on Miami.
Yeah, I'm going Miami in this one just because of the fact that they got Waddle, and I think that's another big fast wide receiver, and Waddle's played with Tua.
Right.
They have chemistry to those two, and anytime you get 2 Alabama boys together, you can make some magic. And I don't like the fact that I like Mac Jones, but I don't like the fact that he's throwing his best wideout is Aguilar. No. If that's your best wideout, and I know you got a couple of tight ends. You think of Hunter Henry and that other guy Juwan, or I can't remember his name, but yeah, no, hell no. I'm not going with. I don't care if you got Belichick or not, man. Hey, listen, Belichick's a great coach, but you still got to have something, and I don't think he has enough. I don't think his running game is all that great. He let go of Sonny Michel. I don't know who they got running the ball. That's probably some no-name guy that we'll find out when say to be determined.
Yes.
I don't know if I can hatch my wagon to a to be determined guy. So, and he's a rookie too. So Tua at least has a little bit of game experience on him. Now, I'm not saying Tua's going to take it to the Super Bowl, but I do think Tua's going to win the game at New England.
Well, I hope they aren't miking Tua at halftime on the bench when he says, I'm seeing ghosts out there, because I know Belichick's going to have all kinds of things that he's going to have to read, and we'll see. I think the Patriots are going to be a lot more better than people think. So we disagree there. That's great. So we got Green Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans is favored by 4.5 points. Of course, off season, Aaron Rodgers tried everything he could do to get out of Green Bay. He didn't want to hear anybody. He wanted him to get rid of the GM. This guy was miserable. New Orleans, of course, just had the hurricane. They're playing in Texas, I think. I think they're playing in the Jag Stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
They are.
And Winston, to me, is under the right coach now. When he was at Tampa Bay, they didn't develop him. They let him be a gunslinger, and he paid for it. I think New Orleans is going to be a lot better than people think this year. I think Green Bay goes in there. They may win by 3 points. But I think New Orleans will cover this, Jay. I really do. So I'm going to take New Orleans.
I remember a time when a certain quarterback by the name of Breeze played with San Diego Chargers, and they thought he was too small, and he was horrible, and he got shipped out on the first train cooking, and he went up to a guy named Sean Payton. And Sean Payton can develop a quarterback, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. And that's why, it's kind of like Winston and Breeze kind of come from the same path. In other words, they both were horrible, playing under the current systems that drafted them. But I think once they both go to Sean Payton, look, There's no doubt about it. Winston has got so many attributes that are awesome. The guy can run, he can throw. You know, he just needs to get under the right guy to direct him and give him some skill sets, and he's going to be amazing. And I think that's why he won the job. He won the job over Taysom Hill. Now, listen, they just paid Taysom Hill a crap ton of money, and they told him he was going to be the starter, but yet Winston got the job. So what does that tell you about Winston? They obviously believe in him. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, listen, come on now. We're still talking about the Green Bay Packers. We're still talking about Devontae Adams. I mean, listen, Aaron Jones. They're a well-balanced breakfast too. Matt LaFleur. I mean, I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to walk away with the loss on this one. I think Aaron is still the bad man that he was, and I think he's going to come in there, you know, and I think he's going to, you know, he don't need a training camp. Let's be honest. There's certain quarterbacks, they don't need a training camp. All they got to do is keep their conditioning going, and they're going to come right back in with no problems.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, Jay, that New Orleans defense is no joke. They're strong at every level. You got Sean Payton, and we talk about Thomas. I mean, listen, that guy
Thomas is out.
Not Thomas. I'm sorry. The quarterback that he beat out. My mind just went.
Tyson Hill?
Yes, he could play fullback. He could play tight end. He could play quarterback. He could play linebacker. That guy could play anything. So that's a great weapon they have there. But I'm just thinking that with all the problems Green Bay had, listen, if I was in the Green Bay locker room and my quarterback said, I don't have enough good players to win a Super Bowl, there's going to be problems in that locker room. And I don't know if it's going to affect the game or not, because normally during the game you forget all that stuff. But deep down, I would have some resentment toward Aaron Rodgers. I just think that the New Orleans Saints shot Green Bay. And remember, they beat Tampa Bay twice last year, and they beat them pretty bad one game. I like New Orleans and Green Bay. I don't know. I just don't like Aaron Rodgers anymore. I just don't like him. So I'm rooting against him maybe. But he is.
Hey, listen, you don't have to like him. But when you're betting, that green money wants to go where the action is.
You are right. You are 100% right. So we disagree on that. So we got Denver, and this is a really interesting game going into play the Giants, right? There's a lot of hype around Denver. They have that great defense, but their quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, who's kind of reminds me a little about Fitzpatrick. He's played in a lot of teams. He's a good quarterback. But it doesn't seem that teams believe that he can finish the season out and take them to the next level. Going against the Giants, that if Saquon Barkley plays somewhat, he's still a weapon, till he gets 100% healthy. They got some new wide receivers. Their defense is underrated. And I think that the Giants at home should be able to beat the Broncos. This is a winnable game for them. I'm not guaranteed. I'm going to pick them. But, I mean, this could go either way. But I'm going to take the Giants at home getting points. I love that against the Denver Broncos.
So hey, listen, I know Saquon Barkley is coming back. I still, I have a hard time believing in Saquon. I really do, because that guy, you breathe on him and he just goes into an injury. I mean, he just can't stay. He's like a Carson Wentz, only the running back version. He's a running back version of Carson Wentz. Neither one of those guys could stay healthy, So I don't know if he's going to last a full season or not. Hell, he may not even last the first 20 minutes if he gets popped really good. So, well, I'm still kind of out on him, and I'm trying to think who Daniel Jones has really got to throw the ball to, or even I don't know. Look, it's NFC East. Hey, look, out of the Cowboys, and I'm with them because, hey, listen, that's my team.
Right.
But outside of that, we have a really crappy – I'm sorry, we just kind of do. We have a crappy division. And I don't think – even though Denver's – I think Denver's just going to take that one. I really do.
Okay.
I think Giants open up 0-1. I think Cowboys open up 0-1. I think Washington might be able to – I don't know. I think the whole East is going to just be rough on game one.
just be over, huh? It's very possible. It's very possible. So you got Chicago – who's they had a team that's made the playoffs last year, believe it or not, but it seems they can't get it together. They've always had some kind of quarterback versus coach problem. People want the kid to start. He says they don't care if Dalton's starting. Going against the Ram, the Chicago quarterback. And I think the Rams are a solid team. I think they'll be in the mix at the end of the year. I don't think Chicago's there right now. I think the Rams will. Chicago's getting 7 points. It should be like 12. I like the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams too. I don't believe in. I think Dalton's an okay journeyman quarterback. Fields ain't nowhere near ready. Who are they really throwing the ball? I just what they got? I think was it David Montgomery, I believe, running the ball over there.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, like you, man. I have a time believing in the Bears. I always, they might as well just put a yellow and white uniform and call them bad news on it. It's rough over there for those guys. So I'm definitely going to take the Rams as well.
Another interesting game. You got the Jets in Carolina. Carolina is giving the Jets 5 points. Another rookie quarterback as we said, the Jets is starting against the old quarterback for the Jets. Now, Sam Darnold has a team this year. The last few years he played on the Jets, that was, next to the Jags, the worst team in the league. I know they just got a new coach, and they're going to change the culture. I love the coach there. But I think Sam Darnold there's going to be no pressure for it to be on all his shoulders. He's going to be calm. He's got his old receiver back. He looked really good in preseason, which doesn't mean nothing, but I think for him it does. I think Carolina covers that 5, no problem. Beats the Jets by a couple scores.
Yeah, I think this is the game where Russell Wilson finds out just how crappy his life really is. Because he's going to be on his back looking up at the sky quite often, I think. New York is just terrible.
You mean Zach?
Yeah.
Not Russell, not his brother Russell.
Zach. Oh, no, Russell. Damn it, man. I'm not saying Russell Wilson. No, Zach Wilson. My bad. Completely different guy. Doesn't even look the same. My bad. No, yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes. So anyway, Zach Wilson, I think, is definitely going to be on his back, looking up at the sky. I don't anything Jets related. I kind of like at the plague, or like gangrene or mold. Mold is a green color. Jets are a green color. I kind of assimilate the both in the same sentence.
Yes,
nobody wants to vote for mold. So yes. I definitely am going for. I definitely believe the Panthers are going to win that. I think McCaffrey's going to do well. I think Darnold's going to. He's just going to flourish because now he doesn't have to run for his life. He actually does have a little bit of buying room to play in there. And under Matt Rule, I think he's going to do quite well. So I'm definitely going that direction.
Yeah, and with gangrene and the mold, if you pick Carolina, you'll make some green, I think, too. So
yeah, hey, listen, that might be the one time where the green goes away. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be. I think Monday night, right? We got Baltimore versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
Now, here's my opinion of the Raiders, Jay. I don't know if you agree with me or not. When you have a coach that you pay all this money to, he makes that Chucky face. He talks a mean game. He loves quarterbacks. I think if he could start 12 quarterbacks on offense, he would. And Baltimore, I think, is just more together. I think they got a good defense. I think Jackson will run the ball on the Raiders when it's supposed to be throwing, and they'll throw when it's supposed to be running. I don't think – the Raiders, it looked like last year, had some stuff together. They were on their way to go to the playoffs, and then Chucky turns the corner. He says, okay, we're going to stop playing physical defense. We're going to take Carr, and we're going to throw the ball all over the place, and the Raiders fall. And I'm not saying that Carr's a bad quarterback. I just think the Raiders didn't know what they were doing. And as long as Chucky is the head coach there, I don't think they'll know what they're doing. I like Baltimore big time against the Raiders on Monday night with 5 points, giving the Raiders 5 points.
I think that Baltimore obviously has the better players, man. Lamar Jackson, come on, man. It's hard to go up against it. And now they got Le'Veon Bell. Can't Le'Veon Bell play like the Le'Veon Bell in Pittsburgh? Or is he going to get the Le'Veon Bell like he got with the Jets and the Chiefs? Now, the Jets and the Chiefs, I understand that because the Jets are the Jets, and they don't have really have anybody to block for them. And the Chiefs really never used him the right way anyway because they use more of Edwards-Helaire. So he kind of got the raw end of the deal. So if he can get back to playing like the Pittsburgh, version of Bell, then it's going to be phenomenal to watch him this year. Let's be honest. You look around Baltimore, they're pretty cursed. Every time you look around, somebody's getting injured. They got cornerbacks going down. They got running backs. Hell, they got to all their running backs. Yes. They're down to the unemployment line running backs. They might have to go to their practice squad and bring them all up. I don't know.
Yes, in fact, that's where Bell was signed to, was a practice squad.
Yeah, and then they
So-
just brought him up. So
Yes, so that'll be interesting. I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think his rapping career helped any either, Jay. I think when he started
No.
rapping, he kind of fell off a little bit.
yeah, so I'm still going. I'm still going with Ray, even though I know I like Chucky. I do, man. I think the guy's a good coach. Yeah, he may have made some. I think he has made a couple questionable calls, but over the long haul, I mean, come on, he got a Super Bowl out of it, so he can't be too
Yeah.
bad. But I just
Yeah.
think that Baltimore, like
Yeah,
you
he-
said, they just had the better players.
I do too. I think that they're going to have a shot. The only thing that I don't like about Chucky over there is that I think he's too much into the offense. Right? He's an offensive coordinator. When he won with Tampa Bay, and that was really Dungy's team. I mean, he took out after Dungy. They had a great defense, and he could concentrate on offense. I think he's a great offensive coordinator. I just don't think he can handle both sides of the ball, or maybe he doesn't have the defensive coordinator to help him out. We'll see. Hopefully, I love the Raiders' history, Jay. I love that bad boy Raiders history. How they were one of the most physical, dirty teams in the league. I love that. But we'll see what happens. So we only disagreed on a few, really. I got Pittsburgh with the points against the Bills. You like the Bills, which I think is a good pick with the Bills. But I just have a feeling with them. I got the Colts. And you got Seattle in that game. We disagree on Cleveland and KC. KC is a smart bet. I'm being unsmart taking Cleveland. Miami in the past. I like the pass this year a lot. Miami, I don't think Tua is as good as people think. You think that Miami is just a better overall team as far as weapons go over there, I guess, on offense. Defensively, Miami's good too. That's for sure. I'm taking New Orleans with the points. You like Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. I like the Giants. You like Denver. So we disagree on a few this week, which is awesome. So now
should be interesting to see how this week goes versus last week with the college games.
Yes. So Jay, we've got our top three that we get to, right?
I got two reasons. Hey, tell you what, Fred. We'll play for a nickel if you want to bet.
Yes. So we got our top three bets here. Of course, that's Fred Flintstone encouraging us right now. So my top three is this, Jay. I love New England -3. I just love that game. I think that New England's gonna outright beat them, maybe by a couple scores. I like Carolina -5. That's my lock against the Jets. I think Sam Darnold has a great game. I think they run the ball on the Jets. I think the Jets will have times during the game that they're competitive. I like the new head coach there, but I think coming out of the gate, Carolina should win this easily against the Jets. I think the Jets have a good future, but not this week, that's for sure. I love San Francisco giving Detroit 7.5. I think San Francisco scores, 3 touchdowns, wins by 21 points against Detroit. What do you got for your top three?
Yeah, top three. I think I'm going Cincinnati Vikings. I think that's my lock because I know Vikings are going to just destroy the crap out of Cincinnati. I like the Chargers game, and not sure. I guess the Jags versus the Texans. I think this is where Trevor Lawrence comes out and just crowns his new team with the win. And I think the Texans are just going to get humiliated. To be honest with you.
And those are three solid, man. Those are three solid picks. I like them. So to close out our bet, and we have our my favorite. Now remember, folks, we give you our underdog pick, and our underdog is not 3 points. It's not 4 points because that could be just home field advantage, right? Mm-hmm. So here comes my and Jay's underdog pick.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Tell us about it.
When criminals in this world appear and break the laws that they should fear and fight and call who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for underdog, underdog.
So what was that pill he used to take, Jay? Did he take like one of them super underdog pills?
Yeah, God, you're making me go too far back in my childhood. I know underdog and all about. But man, that's so far back in my childhood. I don't even.
He had the ring, right? He popped the ring, and he had that pill there. And when it was over. When he took the pill, whatever was happening, the dance was over. It was
done.
Yes, it was over.
He went from that mild-mannered dog to like the super dog.
Yeah. I mean, forget it. Once that pill was coming on, he took it. It was better. You know, it was better than Viagra. I mean, he became powerful. I mean, he was. Anyway, I don't believe I said that. Anyway, so we got some underdogs here that are more than 6 points, or more. It's got to be a touchdown, which is really 6 points, not counting the after point. So on the underdog picks, we have Dallas getting 8.5. That's one of the. So Dallas would be an underdog pick if you took them. You got Pittsburgh getting 6.5 at the Bills. Detroit getting 7.5 at the 49ers. And let's see, Cleveland getting 6. That's considered an underdog pick. And Chicago getting 7 versus the Rams. So if you had to pick an underdog, this was going to be your best underdog pick. I mean, and I know it's tough because this is really almost like a shot in the dark. Who would you take as your underdog pick, Jay?
I'm torn, honestly, between the Cowboys in Tampa and Cleveland and Kansas. Cleveland and Kansas City. I'm really torn between the both of those guys. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna stick with my boys, Cowboys, as I really want these. I really want them to win. I really do. I mean, my smart money tells me to put my money on Tampa, but I just think that can the Cowboys finally, just right the ship. So I'm going to go with Cowboys in Tampa. Cowboys being the underdog, obviously.
Well, my executive producer just told me, that's very important, Jay. It was the Underdog Super Energy Pill. All right, that's what was in his ring. It was called the Underdog Super Energy Pill, introduced in episode 10. So I mean, he didn't have it at the beginning. So he was just a normal dog for the first 9 episodes, and then the 10th episode, it was over. He found that pill, the Underdog Super Energy Pill. Of course, it would be Super Energy Pill, and then he became underdog. So
we need to find that pill and see if we can get that thing mailed to us, man.
I know. I mean, would that be awesome? All of a sudden, So. Listen, I think that's a good underdog pick with Dallas. It's a lot of points, but I got to go with who I picked in my top 3, right? I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus the 6.5 against the Bills, and just stay within that 6 points. I mean, that's all they got to do, and I'm good to go. So I got Cleveland plus 6.5. You got Dallas plus 8.5. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, this is the first day of the season. I mean, it's coming on in about another few minutes. The pregame and everything. But we broke it down. Never mind the networks, guys. We broke it down right here for you. We know what's happening with Dallas and Tampa. It's going to be a tough game for Dallas, as we know. And that's all our picks, folks. So the top 3 for Jay, he likes Minnesota minus 3.5. They're playing up against Cincinnati, so he thinks Minnesota will cover that. The Chargers minus 1.5 at the Redskins. He likes Hebert, and I don't blame him. He's a great quarterback, great young quarterback, and he likes the Jags. Versus Houston. Who wants to play for Houston? We'll see. I mean, really. I mean, I don't know if it was between Houston and Detroit. That would be a tough decision. I got New England minus 3. I love New England against Miami. My lock is Carolina. Sam Darnold having a big game against the Jets, winning by more than 5 points. And I don't know how Detroit is going to even come close to San Francisco. So I got San Francisco. New England, Carolina, and San Francisco. And as we said, Jay's underdog pick is Dallas plus 8.5. And I got Pittsburgh plus 6.5. So, folks, that's it for the Mac and Mac top picks. And we'll see what happens, Jay. The first game of the season, NFL's here. We'll see you folks back here next Thursday night. We'll break down the game, give you any news, give you our picks, and hopefully we give you some winners. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on, Jay. And thanks for having me, folks. And we'll see you again next week. Have a great night. Watch that game.